Well, D&D is, well, Dungeons and Dragons. It's kind of like a book that you get to experience as your own character. You get to make a character that can be anything. You could be just a normal village kid getting his start in the world because he wants to be an adventurer, or you could make a seasoned war veteran who's half dragon. Anything you want. Well, I got into D&D. I was lucky because my brother, who had already played D&D a lot with a lot of groups, he had some friends that were starting up a game, and he wanted to know if I wanted to join, me and my sister. And we were like, sure, we'll do it. And he's like, all right, do you want to make a character? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, what do you want? So I told him what I wanted, and then he just basically made the character for me, and I played it best I could with my little understanding. But it wasn't too long before I caught on pretty quickly. And I ended up really enjoying it, and as time went on, I went on to make more characters for more games, play in more games, and eventually I actually DM'd a couple of my own. I was the dungeon master, so I was the one telling the story. And it was a pretty good thing. A lot of people aren't so lucky, they have to find a group. That's not too hard. You can generally find a group that plays D&D at any card shop you'd go to. There's two main parts. There is the player and the DM. The player is the person, say, for me, if I were to come with my character, I am bringing this character into a world that the DM has created. And basically consider it like the DM is the author, but I control this character in the story. And the DM creates this world for us, and we just he throws scenarios at us like, this is happening, now this is happening, how do your characters react? And it's so interesting because people often will make characters that are very different in their personality, see how those characters end up interacting with each other. I've had times where it's two people that sometimes don't even get along make characters that the two characters end up just clicking, and those two characters become like better friends than the entire rest of the party. I've also had times where people have had to make new characters because they've actually tried to kill each other because their characters hate each other so much. But the two different parts from the DM's perspective of these are these people, these are the characters for my story, I want to see how they react to my story, and the player who, this is this character I've made in this new world, how do they make it? And it makes for some interesting dynamics between all the players involved. As time's gone on, there have been less misconceptions, but there used to be plenty. Like, it used to be D&D, all parents told their kids they couldn't play D&D because it was witchcraft or something. I don't understand how you think some pen, paper, and a couple dice are witchcraft, but you know. But overall, like, the main misconception nowadays is that it's some nerd game just for nerds who like numbers. And while, I mean, there are numbers involved, it's not as daunting of numbers as you would think. It's actually pretty scaled down compared to how it used to be. It's actually pretty easy to pick up and learn. The player's manual, which is the first book you would get for D&D, like the first few chapters are just a step-by-step on how to make it. And also, it's not just for nerds and stuff. I'm a very big nerd, but I also love to play sports and love all these things. It's just I'm creative, and this is a good outlet for me, and it's very fun. And all in all, it's just a game that was created for people that have a really good imagination and want to use that to make a story with their friends and experience it and just have a good time together.